This is Paul. Yeah, I was looking at you in the law. Yes, yes, yes. And they have what's called, hang on just for a second here. I just was reading it for a second. Hang on. Vital statistics, statewide marriages, district court clerk office, chancery, vital statistic, vital records. Yeah. It's called the Bureau of Records, Statistics, State Department of Health and Environmental Sciences. I think we went through all of the bureaus throughout the United States. Every employee that's an employee of the government where their job is the keeping of the birth and death records, marriage records, and divorce records. I'm going to need to know every employee of every bureau in the United States. Now, I've contacted the Federal Bureau of Investigation thousands of times and never gotten a response. It's almost like those that are FBI agents that have sworn that they would support and defend the Constitution when they went through their initial FBI training. Think that being in the Bureau exempts them, gives them immunity from being sued for not enforcing the civil rights of American citizens. Now, I'm just going to want to know every employee of all the bureaus everywhere in the world. Then I want to know where are their bureaus, their dressers, ouch, and their hutches. Seemed like certain government employees that are in the family thought that they were owed more than just their actual salaries. Nice dinnerware set for you. Some real silverware. When you're in the top secret Federal Bureau of Investigation, you probably had to have your own personal top secret underneath your home place where you went to do all your Federal Bureau of Investigation work. So you could have your own Federal Bureau of Investigation supercomputer that could surveillance the population so that you could know where all the criminals are. I'm going to need to know all of those in the FBI that had to be, jacked into their supercomputer system that the Rothschilds had designed so as to make sure that no one in the Fish family ever gets prosecuted for any crimes. Now, if you could give me every employee of every bureau in every state in the federal government, every dresser Hutch and bureau they personally own, and the exact GPS location of where they have resided for the last 40 years, I just wanted to know, do they have some sort of top secret way of enforcing the civil rights of the American population? After having emailed so many field offices of the FBI, after having called them personally on a phone that I had to borrow, informing them that my sons are missing and abducted, my due process rights have been violated for over 6 years, and not getting a response, I'm starting to think that the employees of the FBI are so top secret as they don't actually enforce the actual laws of the United States. Having some difficulty today for those in the bureau. I just want to know what's in your dresser drawers, pooch. What's in your hutch. What's underneath your house. And what's in your bureau. Now, I know those in the FBI would never believe that I would actually sue every agent of the FBI for refusing to enforce the civil rights of American citizens, which it is a division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, when my civil rights have been violated for over 6 years because my right to due process has not been enforced, I would have thought that the FBI would have gotten one of the emails. Now, for a lot of individuals, the Bureau is vital to those documents that they keep to themselves, birth certificates and marriage certificates, death certificates, and divorce certificates. Where are all the actual documents of every employee of every bureau everywhere in the United States that proves that they were actually married? I noticed that when I responded, good to see you this morning, to the dissolution of marriage, there was no documentation provided by the plaintiff. It's almost as if you could give a divorce to any person without them actually documenting that they were really married. Now, how you can get a dissolution of marriage without having to provide a marriage certificate blows my mind. You would think you'd need at least a driver's license and an actual copy of the marriage certificate. Now, when the dissolution of marriage was served on me when I was arrested for the probable cause of violation of a protection order 20 days before, where there was no jurisdiction for the arrest, I was somewhat amazed that there wasn't any actual documentation for anything in the dissolution of marriage. Now, that to me would say that any person could dissolve any marriage without having to prove anything, that they were the actual spouse, that they were actually married. Now, I provided 50 pages, plus or minus, of documentation to prove that I was actually married. In fact, as far as I know, we are still married. Now, if I could get an email from those that decided that they were going to issue dissolutions of marriage without any actual documentation, I just wanted to know. Why is it that you don't have to prove your real identity when filing for dissolution of marriage? And why is it that you don't have to provide an actual certified copy of the marriage license so as to get dissolved? Sitting here, wanting my constitutional rights. Now give me every dresser, every Hutch, and every bureau of every employee in every bureau of the United States of America.